Today we are going to solve the problem, how many ounces in 3.5 tons? So the first thing I need to do is I know I need to make my chart with ounces and tons. So I'm going to do that right here. And I know it has ounces, pounds, and tons. And we remember that by the saying opt. Can't opt out. O-P-T. Opt. Okay. Now we know our sweet 16th birthday is really important to us. So that's why how we remember that there are 16 ounces in a pound. And then we have 2,000 pounds in a ton. That's how we remember 2,000. Okay. Again, we know that if we move this way in our chart, we are going to be dividing. If we're moving this way, we're going to be multiplying. Okay. So now, we end up saying, looking back at the problem, we see the problem says 3.5 tons. So we're going to write under tons 3.5. And we are looking for ounces. That's what it's asking us for. So I'm going to put a circle over here. Okay, because that's what we want to find. All right, so now first we have to get to pounds before we can move on to ounces. So to go from tons to pounds, I see according to my chart, I have to multiply by 2,000. So I have 3.5 times 2,000. Okay. Well, now we're dealing with fractions. So we need to change this fraction into a mixed number, or this mixed number into an improper fraction. Sorry. So we're going to multiply 2 times 3 and add 1. So we have 7/2 times 2,000. So we have 7 times 2 is 14, 3 zeros. And we have 2,000 goes over 1, so 2 times 1 is 2. Okay. Now we have to do division because we have to reduce this huge improper fraction. Okay. So we need to do some division. So we need to write out what we know. Here's our division sentence. And we need to write over here what we know. So we know 1 times 2 is 2. We know 2 times 2 is 4. We know 5 times 2, is 10. We know 100 times 2 is 200. We know 1,000 times 2 is 2,000. We know 5,000 times 2 is 10,000. We're still not at 14 yet. We know 7,000 times 2 is 14,000, because again I'm using 5 times 2 is 10, counting my zeros, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 7 times 2 is 14, count my zeros, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I've got 14,000. That's where I want to be. That's where I started here. So I'm going to subtract out 14,000, come down to 0, and I'm going to write 7,000 under added up. Now I'm at 0, so 7,000 is my answer. This equals 7,000. So now we know we have 7,000 pounds, but we still want to get to ounces. So we have that nice 16 up there written to tell us that there are 16 ounces in a pound. So now we have to multiply 7,000 times 16. Okay, so we get 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 7 is 42. Put in my placeholder. 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 7 is 7. Then I'm going to add it up. 2 plus 0 is 2. 4 plus 7 is 11. That's what I get, but we always have to check it 2 ways when we multiply. So I'm going to do it using, I think I'll use lattice down here. Okay, so I'm going to do 16, and I'm going to do 7,000. I'm going to squeeze it in here. And I'm going to draw in my lattice. Okay, so now I have 6 times 0 is 0, 1 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 time, 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 0 is 0, 1 times 7 is 7, and 7 times 6 is 42. So I get 0, 0, 0, 2, and I get 11, so I have to carry, and I get 1. So I get, again, 112,000. So there is 112,000 ounces in 3.5 tons.